let's learn a little left-hand technique so we can play notes above, below, and in between each of these open strings. First thing we got to know is that on our left hand we number each finger. Starting with finger 1. Finger 1 is our index finger. We have finger 2, our middle finger. Finger 3 is our ring finger, and finger 4 is our pinky. And we don't number the thumb. Again, remember that thumb is going to be just hanging out behind the back of the neck. Your instrument may have tapes just like mine. Hopefully your teacher has set you up with that. It'll make this section a lot easier. So our first finger is going to correlate with our first tape. And in this position, which we call first position, when our first finger is on our first tape, our fourth finger is going to extend and play on the second tape. Now the second and third fingers do have a job as well. Our second finger is going to aim itself exactly in between first and fourth finger. So take a second, line that up. Our third finger is going to fall where it would naturally in between the second and fourth finger. What the second and third finger are doing here is that they're helping that fourth finger push down, because as we know, our pinky is the weakest finger on our hand. With our first finger on the first tape, our fourth finger on the second tape, and the middle two fingers just floating in the center, we are now in first position. So let's do this on the G string. So again, set up your pizzicato, thumb on the side, arch your index finger over. We're going to put our first finger on the first tape. We're going to get our second and third finger set up in the middle and our fourth finger on the second tape. At this point, let's get our thumb in a really ergonomic position. What we want is our thumb to be exactly between the first and second tape, right opposite our second finger. Just like this. You can move your thumb up and down, find that comfortable spot. Another thing to think about is that we want our thumb to be about in the middle of the neck, about the spine. It can go left or right just a little bit, find the most comfortable spot for you. In first position on the G string, we have open G. When we put our first finger down, we're pulling back into the string, making really solid contact with the fingerboard. We have the note A, which is our first finger. Putting all four fingers down with our fourth finger on the second tape, we have the note B. Let's play those notes. G, A, and then B on my cue. So I'll count 4, and then we play our note, and then wait for the next one. So open G first. 1, 2, no fingers, go. Then let's put our first finger down. We have the note A. 1, 2, ready, go. Then the fourth finger, B. 1, 2, ready, go. So as you play that, if you got a sound like this, or a sound like this, with a lot of buzz, you may not be pushing down firmly enough. When you push the finger down on the fingerboard, you want to pull back into it. We're not squeezing necessarily, but pulling back, sort of the index finger is pushing back in. And you should get a clear sound. Mess around with that a little bit and see if you can find that good sound. Again, if you're getting a thud or a buzz, we're not pushing down firmly enough. It should ring after you pluck it. Now the other string we're going to talk about today is the D string. So on the D string, we have open D. When we add fingers, we're going to go up in pitch here. So the note above D for our first finger here is the note E. Sounds like this. And then we're going to line our fingers up just like we did on the G string to play fourth finger, and this note is called F sharp. So let's practice those notes one at a time. We're going to play D, then E, and then F sharp on my cue. So open D, 1, 2, ready, go. First finger E, 1, 2, ready, go. Fourth finger F sharp. This is a good point to double check that your thumb is behind the second finger, right in the middle between first and fourth finger. F sharp. 1, 2, ready, go. In order to line our fingers up straight with the string, we want to adjust our elbow height to make sure that our fingers are lined up with that string. Now you can experiment with this. If you have your fingers curled in and you drop your elbow, you can see that I'm making a diagonal with my fingers. I'm going to raise that elbow until my fingers straighten out with the string. For that, my armpit is going to be about a 45-degree angle. As I change to a lower string, I'm just going to swivel my elbow forward, just ever so slightly. And as I go to a higher string, I swivel my elbow backwards. The same thing applies with the pizzicato hand. As I'm on a higher string, my elbow is higher, and as I pizzicato to lower strings, my elbow goes lower. On the G string, we learned G, A, and B. Now we're going to learn a couple of notes higher than that in third position. So let's find third position. Third position starts on our third tape. We're going to put our first finger on the G string on the third tape. We're going to line up our second finger exactly in between the third and fourth tapes, and then our fourth finger is going to fall on the fourth tape. And our third finger, just like in first position, is just going to fall where it does naturally, and its job is to help the fourth finger push down. Also, just like in first position, our thumb is going to be pretty much right in the middle of the neck. In this position, we're going to learn 3 notes. We have our first finger, which is the note C, sounds like this. Our second finger, which is the note C sharp, that sounds like this. And then our fourth finger, D, which sounds like this. So let's play some third position notes on my cue. We'll start with C, then we'll do C sharp, and then we'll do D on my cue. C natural. 1, 2, ready, go. C sharp. 1, 2, ready, go. High D here. Fourth finger. 1, 2, ready, go. For this video, we're only going to use third position on the G string, but you can play in third position on all 4 strings. Let's review the notes that we learned today, starting from open D and going all the way up to high D. When we transition from first position to third position on the G string, we call that shifting. So we will be shifting from first position to third position. So on my cue, let's play all of these notes ascending, starting on open D. 1, 2, open D, here we go. First finger E, get your finger set. Check your thumb placement. Is it exactly in between the first and second tape? First finger, here it goes. E, 1, 2, ready, go. Place your fourth finger for the note F sharp. 1, 2, ready, go. Moving on to the G string, open G. 1, 2, ready, go. Adding one finger to play the note A, double check your elbow heights. 1, 2, first finger A, go. Place your fourth finger, double check that your second finger is right in between the 2 tapes. Fourth finger B, 1, 2, ready, go. Shifting to third position, aim your first finger for the third tape. Double check that your thumb followed you and isn't exactly in between the third and fourth tape. First finger C natural. 1, 2, ready, go. Placing your second finger exactly in between the third and fourth tapes. C sharp. 1, 2, ready, go. Last but not least, high D. Place all 4 fingers down. 1, 2, ready, go. Wonderful work, bassists. So my recommendation is to practice really getting those fingers solidly against the fingerboard. And that takes a little bit of strength building and agility. So the more you practice, the easier it will get. Join me on the next video where we're going to learn how to play with our bow, arco.